Hello everyone, welcome back. So we have started LAB2. We started this in the previous video on Azure Lab. So this is my Windows machine on Azure Lab. You can tell it's Azure Lab because I have Visual Studio emulator, and you can see it right here. If I point here, it should show up. It doesn't want to show up. Okay, and what you can see is a VS emulator linked to my LAB2. All right, so what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna walk you through this lab, right? In the first lab, in lab 1, it was just a hello world type of lab. You know, didn't care too much about the details. It was just a text view, you know, showing hello class, hello your name, hello, goodbye, anything like that, just a little message. But now we have some buttons that are going to do something. And so let's walk through this. The main two areas that we're going to be exploring today are the Java main activity, which is right here. And that's your code that is going to make the machine, the emulator, the smartphone do something, the steps that is going to do something. And this XML file that comes from the layout that describes what the screen looks like, what is inside the screen. And inside the screen you're going to have, you can have pictures, you can have videos, you can have a bunch of things, and you can have text views, buttons, image view, etc. You can have a bunch of things here. And what we're going to do in this video is walk you through what we have there. So let's just, again, stay here on active main XML. It's on the design portion right here, because you can have design, you can have split design and code, and you can have code. After all, everything underneath it all is code. But let's go to the design because we are visual beings, we're human beings, and we want to look at it. We're artists. We're also going to make things with this design. Okay, so we have the screen. This is what the screen is going to look like when we run it. And to the right, I have attributes. Attributes of what? Attributes of the things that I have on my screen. So let's go to the first one. The one on the top says choose temperature. If I click on choose temperature, right there is selected. Notice that the attribute changed, and it says this is a text view. And the ID of this text view is text view 2. At the time when I created it, I don't know if I entered the 2 or not, but the bottom line is this is a unique ID in the entire package. But it's an ID.textView, so that if you were to use it, you will identify it like that. Now, if I scroll down a little bit and the attributes, because this is an object, an attribute is an object that has a bunch of you know, characteristics. So let's scroll down on that object, and here where it says text, it says it is a string that I'm going to put in there /temp choose, temporary choose. So where does that come from? It comes from string. So let's find out where that is. It's in my text view. It has a string. Well, I'll tell you where it is. It's under values and under strings. So let's double click on strings. And there it is, another XML file. So XML files look like HTML files. They're just text files that have tags. And the tags are there to make the program recognize, like in this case, the names of the strings and the values of the strings. So here is temp choose that we found, right? Go back to active. It says string temp choose. So under strings, I have string, here is a string, and the name of the string is temp choose. And what's inside temp choose is choose your temperature. You can override this like we did in lab 1. Remember, we actually We actually are familiar with this because we went into strings and changed the hello world to hello class and hello goodbye, whatever you want to type, right? So here it says choose temperature, and that is why over here it says choose your temperature. Let's go back. Choose your temperature. All right, so that is with this one, right? Now let's take a look at another aspect to this layout is this radio buttons. First of all, these radio buttons are enclosed in one big box. That is because they are grouped, and I'll show you that after I explain or walk you through each of the individual buttons. If I select this one, right, let's go to the top, it identifies it as a radio button. A radio button is something you check or not check. You either check it or not check it. Okay. The name of the button, the ID, is BTN-DEG-F for degrees Fahrenheit. BTN-DEG-F. So that's got to be unique, the ID throughout your entire program. So if I go to the Java program now, right, you see BTN-DEG-F is right there. So when you run your program and you're doing your own coding, you already know coding from other classes. It's a requirement coming into this class, right? You've taken Java, you've taken other programs, Python, and so forth. This is the name of a variable, the ID, that you're going to use in your code. So that has to be unique. And that's defined right there, right? Then it says degrees Fahrenheit. If I scroll down, pretty soon you're gonna be an expert on all of this. It's a string DEG-FAH. So if I go to my strings, there's DEG-FAH, the name of my string, and it says degrees Fahrenheit. If I change this to degrees F without Fahrenheit, you know, this text will be shown here. So that's where it comes from. So you see, you see what I'm doing now? So go to degrees Celsius. Now it's a pattern now. BTN-DEG-C, right? If I go to the Java program, I see BTN-DEG-C. That's going to be used there. And BTN-DEG-C has a string attribute DEG-Cel. If I go to my strings, DEG-Cel is degrees Celsius. I can substitute this and say degrees centigrades, and that's what you will read here, degrees centigrades, but let's leave it alone for now. Degrees Celsius. You can always change it on your own, and when you work on this and play with it, okay? Then you have degrees Kelvin, and that's BTN-DEG-K, and if I scroll down, it's DEG-Kel, and there is DEG-Kel, degrees Kelvin. Very good. Why is this a group? The whole thing is a group, and all of my radio buttons are within that group. And when you go through the steps, if you were to create all of this from scratch, on Canvas, we give you the steps to actually build this by you from scratch. But it's actually, I'll show you where you can also see this grouping in a second with this code. But right now, I just want to show you that even the group has an ID. Not much in terms of attributes. All right, but it's important for you to know that these degrees are inside the group. If they're not, your program is not going to work the same way. So if we go to the code, I said I was going to show you this. You can see if I scroll down, there's the degree group right there, and within the degree group, you have those three buttons. Button degree F, button degree C, and button degree K. Okay, so they're all there. Sorry for the noise in the background. Anyway, so that's the degrees. Now let's go to the other part of the layout. Let's go to the design. I have a convert, and this convert is a button. This is not a radio button, it's a regular button, BTN convert. The difference is that the radio button, you either check it or not check it. And convert is a regular button which you can click on it. You click on the button. If I scroll down, It has a string, convert. It says convert in there in capital letters. If I do string, convert, there is convert. Oh, it made them all capital. Here it's not even capital. That's okay. That's where it comes from. You can change that if you want it by going to that string. All right, and there's another one kind of hiding here. I'm just going to touch on it, and that is the label output. So this is a label where we're going to send an output, and that output is also, this one doesn't have a string. It's just there blank. The program is going to use it and send something to it. So all of those buttons that I described are going to be utilized by the program. But I already took 10 minutes in this video. I'm going to stop it now. And in the next video, I'm going to walk you through the program. And so you can see how all of these buttons were buttons and radio buttons, regular buttons, how they are utilized in this label output, how it is utilized by your program. All right. I'll talk to you later. Take care.